Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast, where we discuss all things empowering, encouraging and inspiring. My name is Yvonne Ellis. I'm an empowerment speaker, author, coach, trainer and founder of Yumi Empowerment, a company that facilitates the empowerment of people. I help people to make positive life change, live in their purpose and develop into their best version of self. I share stories, interviews, spiritual encouragement and actionable tips to empower, encourage and inspire you to live the life you want. So if you want to live the empowered life, join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Hello Empowered Lifers, welcome to episode 45 of Living the Empowered Life podcast. Hope that you are all doing well. I'm doing good. Been a bit of a mixed week for me this last week. Obviously the high of celebrating my 17th wedding anniversary with my husband. You know, we had a lovely weekend getting out and about. We've actually been together 19 years and we got engaged after, just under 2 years. So, 17 years of marriage is a real achievement. So that was really, really nice. Got to take some time off from studying, from work. And just had a nice time with my husband. And then obviously this week as well, the following Friday, actually going to my foster mum's funeral, which was an extremely sad time for me. My foster mum is somebody who was an amazing woman, loving, kind, always had time for everybody. And at a time in my life when I didn't have no family, nothing, my foster mum really did look after me and she welcomed me into her family and she just looked after me and helped me in every way that she could. And unfortunately over the years we kind of lost a little bit of contact, but recently before she passed, she asked to see me and I was able to spend some time with her. So her Friday funeral service was really nice. I got to see my foster sister and it was just really reflective of the woman that she was. She had a really good turnout. It was really sunny and it was just really, really beautiful. Church was packed, but I'm just glad that she had a lovely funeral, and it's so sad that she is gone. But it's been a lot for me to take in, just the highs and lows of the last week. And it's just a reminder as well of how precious life is and why I am so passionate about living the empowered life, because really you only get one shot of life here on earth, and it's important that you make the most of it. It's important that you find ways to do the things that you're called to do, to live a life of purpose, to live a life of intention, and not to have any regrets or have a chance to change the things that you regret, like that episode that I did about the top 5 regrets of the dying. No one wants to get to that stage of their life and find that they have regrets or they feel that they've missed out on things. So this week has been a real reminder of that for me, to just continue on, even in the times where things might be challenging, to continue on to seek to live an empowered life. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same as well. You don't want to get to a stage in your life where you have regrets or you miss opportunities. So do take each day as it comes, but remember to try and seek to do things to live the empowered life every single day. So if it is your first time listening to the Empowered Life podcast, I want to quickly welcome you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen in. And to my continued listeners, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're on episode 45, which is a huge achievement for me. I am really proud of myself. I'm really proud of the things that I've been able to do with this podcast so far. There's so many other things that I want to do as well. Just time permitting, I want to push this podcast even further out there now that I feel a bit more confident about what I'm doing, and also as well to have more kind of guest interviews. I'm working really hard on that. It's proven a little bit trying, but sooner or later I hopefully will have more interviews for you as well. So before I get into the episode, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button or the follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Stitcher so that you don't miss the bi-weekly episodes of this podcast. And don't forget to share this podcast with anybody that you know that you feel needs a dose of living the empowered life. Friends, families, neighbours, colleagues, acquaintances, whoever. Share these episodes. I really would appreciate it, and thank you for the support once again. So guys, we are now halfway through the year, and I hope that you are all on track to achieving your goals for 2022. Yesterday I sat down actually, and I had a few things that I realised that I needed to get back on track. So I just kind of made a note of these things on the notepad on my phone, things that I really do feel I really do need to pay attention to wrap up for the rest of the year. And when I was reflecting on my list, I realised that there were a mixture of personal things, financial things, administrative like business things to do with my business, charity and family things. And the thing I loved about my list when I looked on it was that everything on the list is achievable. Now, have you got a few things that you want to do by the end of 2022? Things that might not be on your big goal list of big goals and dreams that you want to achieve, just things that would be nice to finish or experience or do. Well, this episode is for you today and falls in line with the topic I want to talk to you about, which is how to make a bucket list. Now, before I share with you how to create your list and some of the things you should consider on your list, I want to share with you a little bit of background on some of the things I found out about a bucket list. Now, I did a little bit of research on this famously named list, and I just wanted to share some things with you that I found out about it. Now, I know that I am not the only person, well I hope I'm not, that thought that a bucket list was something that only dying people do. I found out a bucket list is basically a variation of lists that are known to go by a range of different names, such as a life list, dream list, my list of must-dos, the life plan, things to conquer, life aspiration lists, and so on. It doesn't matter what the name of your list is because basically it's a collection of goals, dreams and things you want to do. The definition from dictionary.com does give the meaning of a bucket list as a list of things a person wants to achieve or experience as before reaching a certain age or dying. And also it says as well, a bucket list is for a terminally ill patient. So, a bucket list is also as well about things that people want to do by a certain age. So don't be put off by the name. As I said, it's something that you can choose to name whatever you want. Another thing I wanted to share with you about the bucket list is the origins of where it came from. Apparently, a while back, there was some controversy over where the term bucket list actually originated. It definitely gained popularity apparently after the Bucket List movie. I've never heard of this movie, with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, which was released in 2007. I might go and check it out and see what it's about actually. I've never heard of that film, but there is evidence that the term was used before that time. I don't know originally where, but it said the most common explanation for the origin is from the name kick the bucket, which I have heard of that term before when people say when somebody's died, they've kicked the bucket. It is also believed to originate sometime in the Middle Ages when execution by hanging was common and the executioner would say kick the bucket. So that was just some little history behind the name bucket list. So now I want to talk to you about what should be on your bucket list. Now remember what I said at the beginning, you can call your list whatever you want. It doesn't have to be called bucket list, but for the sake of this conversation and the topic of this episode, I'm just going to continue to call it that. So please do bear that in mind. So on your list, you should have things on there that inspire you, that mean something to you. And it can be a mixture of things such as family stuff, personal stuff, financial stuff. It could also be things that you want to do to bless other people. However, what should not be on your list is things like cleaning out your cupboards, because that is something you can do at any time. It's something that is just part of tidying up and just part of, housekeeping and doing things within your home. So please don't put things like that on your list. So maybe how you can start to tackle your list, your wish list, or whatever you want to call it, is by thinking about 4 things from different parts of your life that you would like to try and achieve or do this year. Now, rules for the list, not really rules as such, but maybe kind of boundaries or parameters to set for your list, is that I think it should include things to take you outside of your comfort zone. Because these are things that you're not doing every day. These are things that you are trying to achieve or do that you haven't done for a long time, or things that you've never attempted to do before. So then I think that you should include things outside of your comfort zone. And I don't want you to dismiss anything because it's difficult or challenging, or they're things you wouldn't consider because of these factors. Now, you can include things that are considered basic, because sometimes the best things are the simple things that bring the most joy. But the key is that they are meaningful to you. Do they make you feel a sense of accomplishment or achievement? Now, how to create a list, as mentioned earlier, you don't have to name it a bucket list. If you find the name creepy, name it what you want. The next thing is to write your list somewhere. So write it in a notebook or journal. That's something I've mentioned before in other episodes. Really good to keep these types of journals or notebooks so that you can record the things you're doing in your life. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning, I quickly did my list on the notepad on my phone. You can also create a mini list and put it on your wall, fridge, mirror, somewhere where you can see it. You can also put it on a Word document. If you spend a lot of time at your computer and it makes sense for you to keep your wish list on your computer, then you can do that. Also as well, apparently you can get phone apps. There are apps out there to create bucket lists. So search your app store. Apparently there is an app called iWish out there that is meant to be quite good and even has idea suggestions. Maybe that is something that will help you to feel inspired by checking out, phone apps. Whatever works for you, but just remember to just write your list somewhere. Now, things to keep in mind when you are putting together your list and the length of your list is to bear in mind that you're making this list really because you're looking for some quick wins for the rest of this year. So we've only got 6 months to go, and we want to find a way to create memories, achieve things, and have new experiences. So therefore, we don't want the list to be too long, because, we don't want it to be a list of things that are unachievable. I would suggest a list of between maybe 1 and 3 things, and this is taking into account work, family, resources, and maybe limited funds. When you're putting those things on your list, consider the season you are doing it in as well. Think to yourself, are these things going to be possible? Now, remember, these things are meant to stretch and challenge you, so keep that in mind. They're not meant to be definites, but they're meant to be things where you think, okay, if I put some energy into it, some effort into it, I believe I can do it. Also as well, a further thing that you can do down the line is create lists for other things to do, like lists to do with things that you want to do before a certain age. For example, things that you want to do before 30, before 40, before 50. It could also be a seasonal list as well, like things that you want to do in the summer, things that you want to do during the Christmas season and so forth. So, there's other ideas that you can have to create lists as well. Now, to find ideas for your list, you can do things like look at your favorite places, search places like Eventbrite. If you feel that you need somebody to do some of the things on your list with you or would like some encouragement, maybe look at meetup groups, search the internet on Facebook and stuff as well, because there might be people that want to do the same things as you that lack courage or are looking for someone to do things with. Also as well, write your ideas down and, start to look at ways of acting on them. And I hope these have been like good pointers, good starting kind of points for you to start thinking about this. Remember, your list, whatever you want to call it, wish list, bucket list, whatever, is all about helping you to do things to live an empowered life. Remember to make it your own and create it with the intention in mind that these things are things you want to achieve this year. Have fun doing it, spend time thinking about it and then start to act on it. What we are looking for is that by the end of the year, you, me, all of us that are going to take part in this, is that we are looking for quick wins, new experiences, new memories, things that are going to help us to just push forward. So the Bible scripture I want to share with you this week comes from Psalm 37:4, and it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart." If you put the Lord God first every day in your life, you will be surprised at the things that will start to happen in your life. So please do seek to have a relationship with the Lord God. So that is it for this episode. I hope that you all found it something of value to you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Yemi Empowerment, YEME_empowerment. Over there, I share things that I do to live an empowered life. I also share quotes and other things to inspire and motivate you to live an empowered life. Also as well, check out all my resources which are listed down in the show notes. And the question I have for you this week, basically, it's not a question, it's a challenge. And that is, have you started to create your little bucket list, wish list, things to do list for the end of this year? And have you put 3 things on it? And are you going to do it? So it's a bit of a mouthful this week, but please do take part in this challenge. We've got 6 months left. Let's all do it. Let this all go towards us having a great end to the year. So that is it, as I said, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.